Well, I think in a nutshell, simply because it works. And it is probably the most effective method we have encountered to teach early arithmetic to any child that wants to learn. And I think that's the second aspect of the answer to your question is because it works for every child. Every child, no matter what their background, they can learn with this method. I think the simplicity of it, it really doesn't require a lot of explaining. And, you know, kids are very good at visual learning. And if you understand the abacus as a visual device, you can quickly realize how easy it is to teach children to move the beads. And very quickly, we can have a first-time abacus user doing additions and subtractions right away. The abacus can be used for all of your arithmetic functions. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It can even be used to calculate square and cube roots, decimal numbers, and it also includes negative numbers. I think it's in the brilliance of the design of the abacus that has withstood the test of time. I mean, this is a device that has been around for thousands of years. And the reason it continues use today around the world is because it's so simple and effective. So when I say simplicity, I mean that using the abacus to learn mathematics really reduces mathematics down to just a few simple bead movements, and you just keep reapplying those movements over and over and over again for more and more complex problems. So the beauty of it is once we teach children how to manipulate single-digit numbers, then they can manipulate numbers of any size and it doesn't increase in complexity, which is very different from other approaches. As you know, like most kids in elementary school, they'll do very well in math as long as they're dealing with single-digit numbers. And the moment math switches to two-digit numbers, things get a lot more complicated. What is mental math? What a great question, because I think for most of us, that's a very vague concept, that we don't really have one single approach to how we do mental math. Most of us were taught, including myself, that we were given different strategies to solve problems through mental calculation based on, some strategy that applies for a specific problem. But it may not be the best strategy for the next problem. And so what happens is mental math becomes this kind of, you learn all these various strategies and then you have to figure out how to apply them. Where for our abacus students, we teach only one way. And that method is simply moving the beads in their head exactly the same way they do on a physical device. So for abacus users, mental math is nothing more than moving the beads in their head.
And of course, the more they do that physically, move the beads on the actual physical device, they will gain the library, they'll gain the experience to do it fast in their head, fast and accurate.
But that's one of the the wonderful, amazing features of the human brain, right, is that as users train on the physical or even digital device that we provide in the program, the user's brain begins to develop these very intense visual images of those movements. So as we begin to take the abacus away from our students, they simply make those same bead movements in their head. And the interesting part of that is that the brain is really fast at moving images. And that's why abacus users can do such amazingly fast and accurate mental calculations, because their brain is just processing a picture. And at the end, they just logically understand what the answer is. Well, if you listen to the science, they would say as early as possible. We're talking typically 3 or 4 years old. I think anytime a child can, sit at a desk and you can hold their attention for short periods of time, they're ready to learn the abacus method. And in fact, kids usually find the abacus so interesting and engaging. They love to play with the beads, and while they're playing with the beads, sometimes they don't even realize they're learning math. And so it's can be started very early. But we have found that is so interesting is it's not just kids that are interested in learning math the abacus way. We have lots of adults who come to us that say, I would really like to get better in mental calculation, or, I don't feel like I ever really learned my arithmetic very well. And they come to us and jump into our program, and they are delighted with how quickly they learn using this method. And we've had even seniors who come to us that just want to learn this method as a way to keep their brain busy as they age, and they really enjoy the learning experience. But this idea is, really to, again, adopt the science that we know about how the brain learns. The brain doesn't like to try to cram a lot of information over a short period of time. The brain likes short intervals, repeated consistently over a period of time. And so if you take that concept and build a program around it, then what we've done is we've broken mathematics down into these simple incremental steps where we teach you one concept, you watch a short training video that you learn this concept in just a few minutes, and then you go practice it. They can accomplish so much in just 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week on the program. That they will enjoy it. You don't want it to feel like it's a labor. They come in, they do a quick short session, they enjoy it, they learn something, and it's amazing that sense of accomplishment that they will build over time. And a few of the let's call them side effects that we have seen, that as children train on our program, they almost always develop longer focus abilities. They almost always develop more mental endurance, where they can concentrate for longer periods of time. And these types of skills will benefit them in just about every area of life. Our belief is that, education is the great equalizer, that for most people, upward mobility is based on their level of education. And, we've done our homework and we've followed the research and the science, and it all leads back to early education, and specifically early math education. That if we as a society, as a world, if we teach early math much better than we do today, with better tools, better programs, many more children will have a leg up on future opportunities.